What's up, gamers? This is Wood. Let's talk about the Assassins event, shall we? So, first thing we should talk about here is who have we had so far? So we have had, obviously, Ezio and his soul. So we're not looking at those anymore. We've had Cassandra, the fusion, and the soul. So we're not looking for those anymore. We just had Basim and also his soul. This came from a champion training event, first place reward, I remember, and Basim was through a deck of fate. So what we're left with is Bayek, rather, who we've just had in a champion chase tournament, first place reward. So good chance that we're not having a guaranteed for Bayek anymore. And this is what we're left with. So we have Augustin with his soul, we have Bayek's soul, which I think we can expect to find at some point throughout the rest of this event, and we have Edward, which I think is the one that everyone has most in mind. Now, one thing to talk about is the Plarium calendar. Check out this website, by the way, it's really cool. RSLX, really helpful for finding information about Titan events and fusions and the such. But we're looking at the Victorious Titan event here. And as you can see, I've done the maths. I'm going to ignore gear enhancement just for a second, and I've added up all the points that we can see from the events this week, and it totals up to 790. Now that's a discrepancy from what we've heard in the news. In the news, we were told, here we are, throughout the course of the Titan event, you'll be able to earn up to 890 anniversary points during the first part, lasting from March 17th to March 24th. And that's the reason I left out the gear enhancement here, because if you were to add 80 to this 790, we're still not up to the 890 amount that you would we expect given the news, right? So I've left that out, and what that leaves is a total of 790 points, which means we left out 100 points from the first week, which doesn't really add up, right? So what we can expect is some sort of special event coming around in this spot here. And because we've got training at the start of the week, and then we've got a summon event, on the weekend as we usually have, I wouldn't expect it to be another summon event straight after. So I think it's probably something big since it's hidden from the rest of the calendar. It wouldn't just be a regular championing training event or something like that. I think it's going to be a deck of fate. Now, I know we've just had one, but it's not entirely unusual for us to get, like, back-to-back deck of fates, like this one. And what I think in this deck of fate specifically, so we can say this one right here, I think there's going to be a guaranteed champion, because we're coming towards the end of the Assassins event, and we still haven't had Edward, and we still haven't had Augustin. About Augustin, I think it's not necessarily going to be in a guaranteed event. And the reason I say that is because if we check him out in the index here, he is an event champion, but he will be able to be summoned from shards past this event. Okay? Whereas if we look at we'll check out Basim, for example. He's specifically tied to this Assassin's Creed, right? So Augustin is still going to be around after the event ends, but the Assassins specifically are not, right? So if you're thinking like Plarium here, if these champions aren't going to be available at the end of this event, they're probably going to want to milk for as many of those shards as possible. So I think the highest likelihood of a guaranteed champion here is going to be Edward, because we haven't had him yet, right? So I think at the beginning of next week, we're going to be seeing a deck of fate for Edward. I think it's going to be Soul Stones. We haven't had a guaranteed event with Soul Stones for a bit. It could equally be a Hero's Path, but I think the reason why it's not a Hero's Path is because of these two things here, right? So we've had we're going to have Edward, I think, in this deck of Fate. The guarantee on this start next week. But we still haven't had Bayek's Soul. We still haven't had Edward's Soul offered up yet. And what I think is going to happen was the Halloween Path of 2025, right? So this is where we got the souls for the Titan event champion, for the Turtles event, and Raphael. I think this is what we're going to be looking at, because there isn't loads of time left in the Assassin's Creed event, and I think this is what they're going for. They did drop Raphael and April O'Neil souls on their own in a Deck of Fate event, right? So I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see this soul in a Hero's Path and this soul in a Hero's Path together. That's my prediction. About Augustin, it could be that they stick Augustin as a guaranteed champion as well in this Hero's Path. But again, I don't think it's necessarily true that they're going to offer Augustin as a guaranteed champion. The only reason you might think so is because in the past they have offered ways to get the Queen of Hearts, Odin Faefather from the Asgard event, and obviously they've offered previous event dungeon bosses before as well, other than those two. So it is possible we will see Augustin, but right now I'm not counting on it. I think it's way more likely that at least starting next week we're going to see Edward, and in that event with Edward we're going to see the missing 100 points for the Pelops Titan event. Right? That's what I think we're going to see. They've been offering around 100 points in these decks of Fate recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it is. So what does this mean for me? Well, for me, I said in my last video that if there's a 2x primals this weekend, I will pull for that event, and likely that means I'm just going to complete the event anyway. But for me personally, I got lucky during the I believe it was the Anniversary Path event, and I pulled myself Edward. Here he is. So I don't actually need to participate in this Deck of Fate, which we predict is going to be early next week. So actually, if there's 100 points in this Deck of Fate event, I don't really want to be spending the Soul Stones for it anyway. So I think either way, I'm going to pull my Primal Shards either way, if there's a 2x, which, by the way, we have found out guaranteed news in just today, there is going to be a 2x on Primal Shards at the end of the week. I just found out from my lovely clanmate here. So, yeah, I will be pulling at the end of this week. I'll probably upload a video to show you guys what pulls I got. You know, I've got 23 saved up. It's quite a few. Maybe I'll pull a couple remnants. We'll see. But yeah, I think I still won't be completing this Titan event. I think I'll be going up to this mythical book here, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, that was a quick video, quick news video. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you guys luck on your pulls this weekend, and let me know down below if you agree with my predictions about the upcoming assassins we have remaining. Do you think there's going to be an event for Augustin at some point? Do you think maybe it's going to be next week? Who knows? Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you next one.